All right, everybody, I think it's time. Hold on. Here we go. And 3, and 2, and 1. Hello to the final Sigler in Place of 2021. We didn't even think we'd be doing Sigler in Places in 2021.
We did not.
Here we are.
Here we are.
And about to keep doing them in 2022. We're festive. Can you tell? Yes, we're the Sigler's dressed all in black.
We do.
Because
we're very pasty.
We're so dark complected that we don't, we want to, we look like a couple of floating ghost heads right here. Hello. Okay, let's switch over to your side. Boom. Mm-hmm. Boom. Oh, I love Maria. Ooh. Boom. 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 There is a boom, but Madden was very much a boom. Tough acting, tin acting. All right. Coming into this episode, we've got some junkie picks. We've got
just a couple. Just a couple.
Probably we'll get to questions. We'll see how that goes.
Almost assuredly.
This week we're celebrating TikTok Day, getting ready for leaving this year behind.
What's so fun about that is TikTok Day is spelled the way tick and tock is normally spelled and has been going on for years and years, not just since TikTok the app came about. And I went to look for it, details about it on TikTok. But it's just like, oh, time is running out. So if there was something you definitely wanted to do in 2021, now is your chance.
You got a couple days left. Coming up very shortly, we have, tell them about that, baby.
We do have a junkie meetup. On the first Saturday of every month, Steve Riekeberg, our friend Steve Riekeberg, hosts a very long, it starts at 4 p.m., ends at 11 p.m., happy hour. And I really like it. I pop in and out. Scott is almost always doing music on Saturday, but sometimes we see a little bit of him. But the next one is this coming Saturday, which is
1/1/22.
1/1/22, which is New Year's Day. It's not like you guys are going to be out partying, because if you're going out, you would have gone out the night before, but probably you're not going anywhere this year. So who knows?
Shelba Pittman says she's locked out of these. It tells me it cannot go live. Let's switch over to chat
but you
real
can't
quick.
see it? Interesting.
You're in the chat room, but you can't see it. Well, I'm very sorry about that. We don't know how to fix that. Please throw an email to info@emptyset.com, though, and we will see what we can do. If there's anything we can do to fix it, we probably can't, but we always do give it the old collegiate effort, as they say.
Like I said, I will be in and out of the chat room on Saturday. Come on and join your fellow junkies and hang out. It's a whole lot of fun.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you see him there in the bottom left. We saw him in the open. We're going to kick off this show talking about Mr. John Madden. Of course, we write about the GFL here, and a lot of you have read the GFL series. So football, oh yeah, there we go. First of all, if you have brought a beverage with you.
Don't pour one out, though, because you're in your own home. So then you're just going to have to clean that up.
You can if you want to. We don't judge. We don't judge. But here's to John Madden, to the man's long life, 85 years old, had a great run, Hall of Fame coach, an incredible guy, and we'll knock one back. Let me go to here. I got to fix this real quick. And boop, boop, boom. Bring up the Maddens. We got the Maddens going on right now.
Ooh, look at those burns, y'all. Look at those burns.
Out of the way.
I mean, what a great big loss, though. Even if you're not at all a football fan or you're a gamer, probably still know John Madden. You ever watch TV in the 80s?
You probably know John Madden.
John Madden.
I first played Madden football in 1988, the year it came out. I believe I played it 88 or 89 when it was brand new, and it was the successor to the Tecmo Bowl. And by
Tecmo
Bowl.
Tecmo
Bowl was huge. Those of you who remember back in the day, Tecmo Bowl, gigantic. By 2018, the game had sold 130 million copies. It became a huge status symbol in the NFL to be on the cover of the Madden, to the point where you will hear in a few minutes that bled into the far future, 8 centuries from now. His game, Madden, the Madden game, taught millions of people much more detail about the sport of football. Anybody can be an armchair quarterback, and you can watch TV and yell at guys that can't complete a pass or yell at guys that blew a defense. But people who haven't really played the game, like Danny and I played it in high school, you don't see some of the granularity of the game. So if you've never played the game of football on a field with coaches teaching you how everything works, if you love football and you want to learn more about it, I cannot recommend Madden football to you enough.
And I think you guys already know this about me, but I I grew up with my brother loved football growing up. My stepdad loved football growing up. I was never really into football until he made me pick a team in 2009. And now I'm a football fan. But one of the ways I learned about football and I was never even a gamer, so I wasn't a football fan, and I've never been a gamer. And I learned more about football from Madden myself. But we can't keep it in the house because Scott will stay up for 40 hours in a row playing it. So.
It's straight crack. It literally, if Madden's in the house, I will not be writing any books. I've twice in my life have bought a PlayStation and then an Xbox, bought Madden, started to play it, and had to call friends to come take the whole console away from me. That was after I had already thrown Madden out and then got it out of the trash. That was after I then threw Madden out and poured coffee grounds on it and cracked it so I wouldn't use it, then went out and bought it again. I finally had to call my friend Bernie and say, come get this goddamn thing. Just take it. Take all of it. What do you owe me? Nothing. Get it out of my house. It's an amazing game, but it teaches you a lot about the X's and O's and being able to see the plays and the way the passing routes alone, watching how they develop and what the quarterback has to go through to make a decision. It's wonderful. If you want to learn a lot more about football, get Madden, play it on easy mode, and you will just learn so much.
I listened today to a couple of interviews, one with Al Michaels and one with Richard Sherman, who talked about all the sort of the same things that Scott is talking about. And he ended up on a cover, I guess? Did
Sherman?
Yeah.
I think Sherman got onto a cover,
but I wasn't quite, but it was fun to hear Richard Sherman, who's Richard Sherman, talk about being a kid who wanted to play football and loved Madden. It was really interesting to see it from that point of view. Like, because they all, for me, who never played football, people in the NFL are somewhat in this way sort of monolithic, right?
Yeah.
They are NFL players. They are people in the NFL. And to hear Richard Sherman sort of talking about the awe and grace of loving the NFL when he was a kid was spectacular.
So we're going to get to some of the GFL excerpts in a second, but some stuff A gathered for us today. Al Michaels said the day he died, Madden was genuine. He wasn't acting the role of analyst or broadcaster. When John got into broadcasting, he had to be himself. John was not only genuine, he was an original. What you saw on the air was who John was off of the air. He was born in Minnesota. Madden spent the majority of his childhood in Daly City, California. His best childhood friend was John Robinson, former coach of USC and the Los Angeles Rams. They both went to Oregon on football scholarships. Robinson played for the Ducks. Madden eventually transferred to Cal Poly, where he became an all-conference offensive tackle. He also played catcher on the school's baseball team. John Madden had a career-ending injury. He was the 244th overall pick in the 1958 draft by the Philadelphia Eagles. That's way down the list, you guys. That is way, way, way down the list of the people who get drafted that day. Madden's NFL career ended almost as soon as it began. He suffered a
knee-ending injury.
A career-ending injury while he was still a rookie during training camp. While he was rehabbing, Madden decided to spend his free time watching film with quarterback Norm Van Brocklin, who was on the back nine of a Hall of Fame career. He called me Red, Madden recalled. He said, "Hey, Red, come up here with me. I'm the only one there." So he's talking out loud. It was the greatest education I ever had. Norm Van Brocklin taught John Madden all about it. John Madden did a lot of things. He introduced, the crazy turkey on the Thanksgiving Day game. He made football way more fun. Probably the most dominant personality in football when John got started was Howard Cosell, who was an asshole. Who just shat on players all the time, shat on coaches. It's how he made it. It's how he got to be love-hate kind of a thing. You see that a lot with commentators now. I won't mention who, but there are commentators who make their career being absolute jerks and just crapping all over guys who are out there, just literally sacrificing their bodies and years of their life. If you play in the NFL as an offensive lineman, your life expectancy is 53. The average life expectancy of an American male is still, I think, 67. Or somewhere in that ballpark. So these guys are giving up a lot of their lives. John Madden comes in, makes it boom. Everything is fun. Everything is positive. He talks great about everybody, celebrates the winners, but at the same time, he doesn't crap on the losers. He was with Madden Broadcast. That was Pat Summerall. I just had him up on the screen there. In the 80s and 90s. In 2006, he was inducted into, we'll go back to books. I got pictures of this stuff.
Career-ending injury.
That is football career.
No, I know. It's just so funny when, if you actually say it out loud, his playing career is what happened, right? But everybody says his football career ended with an untimely injury. And I'm like, football, really?
Yeah, Nelson, Pat Summerall did look dead in that picture. He probably was. He's a black magic practitioner. We all know it. 2006, John was inducted into the Hall of Fame. It was, wait, do I have that right? Yeah,
Looks like
2006. That's also the year he was the last color commentator for ABC's Monday Night Football, teaming with Al Michaels before it moved to ESPN in 2006. During his career, he was the main color commentator for all 4 major networks, quite an accomplishment. From 79 to 2008, Madden works as a color commentator, analyst in NFL games for all 4 major networks. He announced retirement in 2009 as an NFL broadcaster after 30 years of broadcasting and 30 years of just bringing absolute joy to everyone who loved the game of football. He also wrote several books. He served as a commercial pitchman for various products and retailers. Boom! Tough actin', Tinactin. I don't even have a need for Tinactin. I went out and bought some anyways today. And now...
He has been saying boom all day long, though. Boom.
Boom. Fantastic stuff. And now we're going to get into... Do I have this here? Hold on. Maybe it's... I've got a lot of printouts, guys. Go back to main. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. Here we go. Now, some excerpts from Madden's presence in the GFL series. And this isn't just me. Almost every player in the NFL and in college and in high school is crazy for the game of Madden football because it's so good. It's so cutting edge. And players will get genuinely mad if they don't feel their skills are accurately represented. One thing that's common in the NFL is receivers and defensive backs will get super pissed if their speed isn't a 99. Like it's a scale of 90. It's a relative scale of 1 to 100. So if you are a world record setter in the 100-yard dash in 1988, you get 100 speed. But if now 4 people have broken that record in 2021, you're back like a 97, 96. So it's a sliding scale. It's graded on a curve, if you will. And I wanted to capture the players' fascination with this game in the GFL series. So from the rookie, this is from Quentin's perspective. He sat in his room, marveling at how much a body could hurt after just one practice. It wasn't enough to stop him from playing. Nothing hurt that much. But it sure wasn't a walk in the park either. Quentin's fingers deftly worked the game controls as he guided his players around the holotank. Games were a good way to get his mind off of practice. He didn't know who Madden was, but Madden 2683 was the best football sim he'd ever played. His Toe Pirates were up 22-16 over the Jupiter Jacks in a rematch of Galaxy Bowl 24. They get a little longer after this. They start to get super fun. Chris Crawl, you're not a 99 speed. It's not going to happen for you, bro. From the starter. Someday, John said, my little brother's going to get in trouble, and he can't get out of it. And you know what? His big brother John won't be coming to bail him out this time. This time, Quentin said. Have there been times before? Jew and trouble go together like peas in a glove. But that doesn't matter. He's on his own. Let's get out of here. I can't even stand his stupid face. John finished the tour in the entertainment room, where a large holotank showed the hovering logo of a video game, Madden 2684. John, no way. The new version of Madden? That doesn't come out for another week. How did you get it? Because people love Uncle Johnny. And guess who they have as quarterback for the INF Krakens? No way. Quentin sat in one of the room's 2 big recliners. He slipped on the fingertip controllers that were sitting on the armrest. John did the same in the other chair. Within seconds, both players selected teams. Quentin chose the INF Krakens, of course, and so did John. Krakens versus Krakens, Quentin said. Why don't you want another team? If they have you as the quarterback, who do you think they have as the inside linebacker? Quentin smiled and nodded. Ah, I see. And in the video game, there's no red jersey, John said, finishing Quentin's sentence. Prepare to be knocked into the Stone Age, backwater. Bring it, Uncle Johnny. Moments later, Quentin stared into the holotank at something he'd never dared believe he might actually see, a lifelike representation of himself. He'd played the various versions of Madden more times than he remembered, played as all the great quarterbacks, Zimmer, Adronic, even Don Pine, although he'd never tell Pine that. And now he was playing himself. It was a surreal experience. Quentin selected to play and watch his team line up. So realistic, just like watching a game on the holo. His offense wore orange visitor jerseys. John's defense wore home black. Quentin saw the video game version of John Tweedy creep up behind the nose guard. Just a little. Quentin's fingers tapped on open air, calling an audible. He twitched his left thumb, snapping the ball. Sure enough, John's holo linebacker roared through the line on a blitz. Quentin's holo quarterback calmly threw to the holo tight end, in this case, Rick Warburg, who caught the ball right where John's holo linebacker would have been. Jerk, John said. You see everything. I should have known better than to blitz against you. John's voice is a little rough. Moves on. We skip the All-Pro. We go on to the MVP. We'll bring up chat in case you guys want to see each other's comments here. Masal pointed to a black-skinned human. The 50-headed monster. The 50-headed monster is the media when Quentin's in the press room. The 50-headed monster quieted as the man stood. Jonathan Sandoval, Net Colony News Syndicate. The Krakens are averaging 56 points a game, and you're averaging 4.2 touchdown passes per game. Through 6 contests, you've got 25 touchdowns passes and only 2 interceptions. You're making it look like a video game out there. I haven't really looked at my stats so far this season. The 50-headed monster laughed, but he wasn't joking. He'd been too busy to pay attention to stats. And those numbers were insane. Sandoval was right. It sounded like something you got when playing Madden 2685 on the easiest level, which is what I just recommended all of you do. Have fun. And then the last one's a little bit longer, but it's from the champion. Quentin Barnes scrambled out of the pocket, and Quentin Barnes gave chase. The first Quentin Barnes was the hologame version, the stat-maxed cover boy star of the just-released Madden 2686. When it had come out, Quentin had been shocked to see a bloody, snarling, 9-fingered version of himself featured as the game's main image. The cover of Madden? Him? He'd barely been able to believe his own eyes. It was an honor comparable only to that of League MVP, because it meant that sentients all over the galaxy thought that you were the best player in existence. Like every young quarterback, Quentin had once dreamed of being so good and so popular he'd grace the Madden cover. But now that it had come true, it felt surreal and more than a little wrong. He was part of a team. Being on the cover put all the attention on him. It was almost embarrassing. Too slow, Becca said. She leaned right, urging her hologame Quentin Barnes to avoid the pursuing linebacker. That linebacker, John Tweedy, was the real Quentin Barnes, or at least controlled by him. Damn it, Quentin said. Damn it! The last play of the game. Krakens versus Krakens, and Quentin had a 4-point lead. All he had to do was get a sack or force an incomplete pass, and he'd win. Uh-oh, Becca said. Crazy George looks open. Quentin, the real version, saw George open near the goal line, the area John Tweedy would have been playing if Quentin hadn't blitzed. Real Quentin wiggled his fingers to make holographic John Tweedy dive for Holo Quentin's feet, but Becca made Holo Quentin effortlessly avoid the tackle. Is this what it's like when people try to catch me in real life? No wonder they want to hurt me. I want to hurt myself right now. Holo Quentin's pass ripped downfield and smacked into Holo Starcher's oversized hands. George tucked the ball tight as Bumper Puff rolled into him hard, wrapped 4 tentacle limbs around him. George managed one more stumbling step, then fell across the goal line for a touchdown. Becca stood up and raised her hands in victory. That's game, baby! Quentin slumped back in his couch. He wanted to put his foot right through the holo tank. Becca did a shuffle step dance to the left, then to the right. She started singing. You said I couldn't beat you. I couldn't beat you. Quentin crossed his arms. You don't have to be a dink about it.
Dink about it.
She laughed and puffed out her lower lip. Aw, after all that smack you talked, are you sad you lost? There
is no me in Becca, just so we're clear.
Oh, that's lies. That's straight up. There is so much A in Becca. So much A in Becca. Maybe not when it started out, but as our friendship and business partnership and eventually our relationship grew, there's an enormous amount of A in Becca.
And I will tell you this past Sunday, Scott was
Tracy
busy
Dink is
and
not a swear
working,
word.
and I was watching football, and I forget what you were doing, but maybe music or something. And he kept calling down when he would hear a commercial come on. We live in a townhouse, and he would call downstairs like, "Hey, what's the score?" And I know it was a Washington football team had no points, and that's what I said. I said, "Well,
the Washington
21 to
football
no
team
points."
has no points.
And he came all the way down the stairs to say, "Nobody says it that way. Nobody says it that way." And I was like, "I just said it that way, and look, they have no points."
I've been watching football for at least I'm 50, almost 50 years, where I can remember football. More like 40, 45, 46. And I've heard a lot. I've heard, that's a goose egg. That's a donut. That's an Ofer. 24-0. 24-0.
No
I've
points.
never once heard it's 27 points to no points whatsoever.
It was 21 points to no points. And he was so amazed. He had to come downstairs, and he came downstairs and like, "What?" And I was like, "What? Look, it's 21 to nothing." He was like, No. No one says no points.
Okay, so let's see. Let's go back to our
I don't know what to tell you.
Our list, but that is all. We welcome, although he never admitted he was a fan of the GFL, not in public, which we can understand.
Yeah.
I mean, a man who puts 6 turkey legs on a turkey, he's got his own way of doing things. But John Madden, without question, has just descended into the halls of Everdoom to join Ivar and a few other people who we have lost. Jay Guana, Sarge, a few other people we've lost this year. Very lovely people, because they made people's lives better. They brought joy. They brought happiness. Cheers to all. Everdoom gets another warrior.
You guys, my mom just joined the chat. Marianne Radowski's my sweet, terrific, tiny little mama. Say hello to her. I love you very much, Mama.
Yep. Zippy in the chat room. Zippy, we're talking about John Madden. I'm sure Zippy knows everything about John
Everything
Madden.
about John Madden.
All right, so that was Madden. There we go. Now, let's get to, we're going back on the script here. 1 second, sweetheart.
Just a little updates. We have just a quick update. If you guys ordered T-shirts, as you know, we are learning the system as we go. Right now, there's one T-shirt still in production. Everything else is out or has been shipped. And it looks like not everybody gets, or not every print facility will send out details with a tracking number. So if you're at all concerned, things are running on time. Things are going pretty well. I had to do a few adjustments to how we work with Printify. So I had a couple of emails this week, and I feel like it's important to tell you guys, especially since you guys are true Blue fans. If you ordered, just because you ordered to a specific address doesn't mean all the T-shirts will come from the same print facility. So if you get some of your T-shirt order, but not all of your T-shirt order, you're welcome to email me and check on it. But also, if you wait a few days, I bet they'll all show up, because they don't always print from the same place.
Evan Hogan I don't know whatever you did, Evan. We're old and we don't know how things work. You should throw an email to info@emptyset real quick and let us know what the heck that was all about, because it looks like a lot of fun.
Also, we're moving, I think, on to pup dates.
We don't. No. No. Hold on. Hold on, Jimmy Jam. 1 second, son. Boom. Boom. A lot of you wanted to know what's going on with JFL 7, and boom, we've got an update. Let's go ahead and bring that up, ladies and gentlemen. I was so busy I didn't have time to do the math today. But I tell you what, I'm not gonna. Some authors might be modest. Some authors might have an imposter syndrome. I appreciate that. I get that. Some might want to portray that they're not quite confident in what they just wrote. Like maybe it's an affectation, maybe it's genuine. I don't know. All I can tell you is I got none of that for you today, because the stuff I laid down today, that was some no offense. Wait, that's a good thing. That was some A-level stuff I laid down today. I had a blast.
Was it straight fire?
It was straight fire.
Mm-hmm. I think at our age we have to do straight fire like this. Or it was fire AF.
It was on fleek, you guys. It was very much on fleek. Dr. Daniel Baker provides 83.28% done. Pretty sure it's going to be 147,500, you guys, but I don't know. But anyways, I just want to give you that update, and then we got to go to the pup dates, right? Is that what we're doing, baby?
Yeah, right now is pup dates and pet pics. This is a super fun.
I screwed that up. Okay, there we go. Bottom right.
Oh my goodness, you guys! This, as you know, we
Blood
had to
flare.
give up we had
Blood
to
flare.
give up the Lair of Doom, which was our office and also Scott's home before the pandemic. We gave it up in May of last year, and before the pandemic, every work day, this is Stella Bella Boo, and she would show up every work day, most work days, and she belongs to the goddamn dog sitter. And this was early on in her tenure as an office pup. I took them all to there's a dog beach on an island here in San Diego, and there's water all around. You can run back and forth. You can chase seaweed out of the water. All she wanted to do was dig in the sand. It was the cutest thing ever. So that's tiny new Stella, sweet new Stella. Now she's got a teeny bit of a white in her face, but that's all sand. That's all sand.
She has a younger sister now, and it has aged Stella quite a goddamn bit.
And all of us.
And then
Puppies are a lot.
and then, ladies and gentlemen, this is Ace done a lot of great things for me in my life, an enormous amount. My life is infinitely better because of my wife. So great. But out of all thanks, sweetie. Out of all the great things she has done for me, I don't think anything was ever greater than this.
I don't even know. Oh my God, I can't, you guys. This is like a post-Christmas miracle. Okay, so Scott hates clothes on dogs.
I don't like it.
Hates it. And like we have tiny dogs. So now he's sort of starting to see like my little 12-pound dog who doesn't have an undercoat can get pretty cold. So now he's a little better about it, but he hates costumes. So this was literally, Reese was maybe 4 months, 5 months living with Scott, and she was she was maybe just a year old in this photo. And he, before the pandemic, would once a year, he would go on a trip with the guys he grew up with, the dudes he grew up with. And some of them are often in the chat room. Rob Otto is one of them. Dr. Daniel Baker, PhD, is one of them. And they would go to Vegas or Phoenix or something, they'd go do something fun. And he asked me if I would watch Reese. So I go down to the office at the time. We're not dating or anything, and I go down, I spend the weekend at the office with the dog, and it's freezing, so I get her this tiny sweatshirt, and he's like, nope, no way, there are no clothes for my dogs, not absolutely. And then we go out, look at how cold her nose is, look at it. So I sent him, and he was like, God damn it, she looks like the loneliest rapper on earth. And then I did this. And I have put this in the pup pics folder for the whole time we've been doing SIGLERinPLACE, so I didn't think he would ever run it, but there it is.
I felt we needed to go.
Do not miss your chance to blow. Look at her.
Yeah. With John Madden passing, I felt we needed to go next level with the dogs, make sure everything was okay.
I love it.
All right, and then let's get our big pup. It's time to go to Pup Show. And I think I screwed this up, so nope, there you go.
There it is. Okay, so my favorite thing about this pup date is there's only 2 pups. And this beautiful, beautiful boy belongs to Dan and Jen Lundy. And obviously he's in his Christmas gear. This is Christmas Zeus. Zeus is such a sweetheart. We've seen him before, I think, on SIGLER, unless I'm just lucky enough to get pictures of Zeus. But I think we've seen him before in SIGLERinPLACE. But this was Christmas Zeus. And he looks very happy. Hopefully he got everything he wanted for Christmas.
So we got a double Zeus going on, right?
We do.
All right, and let's go to your Zeus number 2.
Yep. And this is Mr. Happy, Chris Grohl, in the chat room this evening, good friend of ours, and his Zeus. His Zeus is a min pin, so they definitely look different. We haven't had the good luck to meet Zeus Lundy yet, but we have met Zeus Grohl here, and he loves his daddy. He loves his papa. And I got to pet him once or twice, but just pats on the head. But he loves his folks, and it's a sweet, sweet thing.
He's
and
a
his
very
sister,
intense,
actually.
very intense pup.
We only have those 2 this week for you, but if you have a dog named Zeus, you should send it in. We'll add it to the mix.
Even if your dog's not named Zeus.
True, exactly.
That's all right. Send it in. Let us share your pet joy with the rest of us. Mm-hmm. It'll be great. All right, now we go back to the books, and boom. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know how that got in the slide deck. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, real quick overview. We're up in Stone Wolves, episode number 14. Episode number 15 is coming up in just a couple of days. We've got some awesome stuff going on with the new website. Working on the new website. I worked on it a little bit today. It is going to be much more stripped down than what you see here. It is much more... It is e-commerce on fleek. We will be influencers.
It's Internet of Things AF.
It's so Internet of Things. We are. It's literally been 6 or 7 years since we updated the site.
2013.
It's been that's bad for business, you guys. You don't go that long without updating your website. We haven't updated the site since 2013. Technology has changed an enormous amount.
Indeed.
And these two cutthroat capitalists are about to get busy with the new tech, making some really cool stuff. So, free stuff. We'll get the latest Story Smack is going to be up there soon. I can't remember what it was. What was it? A Matrix? We haven't got the Matrix up as a podcast yet. We will. But swing on over there or go to scottsigler.com/subscribe. How do I fix that? That's broken.
Well, then we'll work on our
That's broken.
live
That's
streaming
broken.
rig after we are titans of industry and make a whole new website.
Okay, so there's that. And then fulfillment update, babe.
So at this point, I keep telling you, I followed up with, I think, everybody who emailed me and said they hadn't gotten their copy of The Gangster. I have submitted insurance claims for copies of The Gangster that have gone missing since September 30th. At this point, I just need to know you're missing your book, and I will send you another book. I still have to make the claim with the post office, but I know pretty much now they're definitely never showing up. I did send out a handful of books that I specifically spoke to those people. So if you're hearing this and you're like, hey, I wonder if she resent my book, just shoot me an email. info@emptyset.com. There. This there.
For some random reason, now we can actually see the screen.
It works. Because now I'll file the claim, send you a new book, and it's done. Likewise, if you have not yet received your poster, or if your poster or its tube was damaged when you get it, please let me know, because now we're past the point where I'm just going to file a claim for those and go from there. That's pretty much the fulfillment update. Every book that anybody has ordered from us, and every T-shirt but one that you've ordered from the site, they've all been shipped. So if you don't have it, and it's been more than, say, 15 business days since it's Christmas time, send me a note, and we'll figure it out.
And then now it's time to celebrate all of you MFers.
Mm-hmm.
I can say MFers, and I can't get fined $1 for that, because that's an acronym.
Boom.
Boom. Tough acting, and acting. Here we go. We have not had a John Madden character in the GFL yet.
We do have a Howard Cosell.
Yes, we do. Steve the Iceberg, Ricky Berg, make a note. We need to have a Madden voice. All my voices in the GFL, and there are hundreds now. All my voices in the GFL are based off of like a comedian, an actor, someone who has a distinct way of a manner of speaking. If you've listened to the Stone Wolves, you may have picked up a couple of those. We still got to do that episode. We got to do the cast reveal of the Stone Wolves.
Yeah, because there's one. We were just having a conversation with somebody who brought up the character the human being that Fanaka is based on. In Fanaka, you will know if you are caught up on the Stone Wolves and the GFL, or you're listening along. Fanaka is a very specific human being playing a very specific character. And I was talking to my friends, including Maria, who is in this chat tonight, and they brought up this particular human, and I thought, ooh, I should tell you that that's who Fanaka is based on. And then I thought I would wait and see if you'd figure it out, or it might be more fun to figure it out. So we're going to do that at some point. But yeah, so far almost all the characters, not Johnny, not Quentin.
No, those are original voices.
Those are original voices, because they happen, as Steve said earlier in the chat, there are a handful of voices that Scott can and wants to be able to do on the fly at all times, because he speaks so much in their voices. So having John Tweedy and Jew Tweedy and Quentin and Killian be close to Scott's voice, even though they're sometimes hard on his throat, is a lot easier than having to write these point of view characters that are such a huge part of this whole series of books, and have to filter every single one of those. So he can't do a reading, and have Bumberpuff's voice, for example, without some modification, or a key voice or something like that. But he can do Johnny, and he can do Quentin. And also Quentin and Killian are they're modifications of your own voice.
Yeah, the Quentin voice is just kind of a dry rasp. It's like like a every Clint Eastwood, just kind of a dry rasp and kind of cover everything. And then for Killian, we want to drop that down to just kind of a dry rasp.
But both of those are sort
cadence.
of his Scott's normal speaking voice just roughed up a little bit, so that he can do those with frequency.
All right. Going back to Maine, and lots of action in the chat room, which I love. But speaking of action, speaking of just hot, manly, cover boy, romance novel model action. ladies and gentlemen, Rob Otto will be with us
True.
for Story Smack. Second Saturday, January 8th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific. The man who knows more about movies than almost everybody, except maybe Howard. Howard knows an enormous...
Howard knows a lot about movies.
I thought I knew a lot about movies, you guys. Then I started hanging out with Rob and doing the show with Rob, and then Howard in the chat room. Get out of here. These guys know an enormous amount.
So we will be doing this the second Saturday of January, which is the 8th. We start at 2 p.m. Pacific time. It goes for roughly an hour. And we have been talking with Rob. We've been talking amongst ourselves and talking with Rob about maybe some modifications to how Story Smack, maybe adding a few more features, how Story Smack works in the future. But can you give me this?
Yep.
But this is going to be the straight everything that you're already used to. David Lamb, I know you always show up and you enjoy this format. Don't worry, it's definitely not going away, but we might add some other things. But Scream, if you haven't seen Scream, number one, watch Scream before next month when the next Scream comes out. Second, if you're unconvinced, my dear friend Jennifer Sherwood is in the chat room, and she can convince you why you absolutely need to see this movie because she's a very big fan. So
I won't get into
go
it
ahead
now,
and do that.
but this is, from a script writing perspective, it is a game-changing movie that did something that no movie had ever done before that I'm aware of. So it was an original idea, perfectly executed by someone who is a legend in the horror community, and it became an enduring classic. And part 4, did you mention part 4 is going to be out?
I mentioned there's a new one coming out next month, but yeah.
New one coming out next month. Now that all of these beautiful people are now old and not beautiful people, they've got some other beautiful people to come in and do their thing. All right, and then we got to go back to we'll make this quick. We got to shill a little bit. Go ahead, babe.
What are we? I'm just vamping, I guess.
Nope.
I don't know.
Boom, there we go.
Boom.
Tough acting connected. Boom. Look at these books on this sale. Scott's saying, like, right over here, I wish I had a teleprompter. Right here, this one's kind of a mountain. You know, or, I mean, it could be just kind of the bottom of a cleat or possibly a half-eaten brownie. If this had I think this is probably a half-eaten brownie or maybe a chunk of turkey. And over here, this guy. I don't know who this guy is, but let's put a uniform on him. Why isn't he in a lineup? I don't know. And over here, this guy, he maybe, he
There you go.
doesn't...
Scroll up a little bit. So we see that. Scroll up. Oh, no,
That's
the
your
other
up?
way. Yeah, the other way.
This way.
So look, I don't know why Scott shows this private one that you guys can't see for Nocturnal. Nocturnal is not available. However, Ancestor, Alight, and Pandemic are available and on sale, signed hardcovers for $15 a piece, and they're going to stay that way until the end of the month, probably. We may extend it to January 31st. We're not sure yet. All the other books here, Earthcore is available. You can ask for it to be signed. Paperbacks don't come signed necessarily, but you can ask for it in the special notes section, and we can sign and personalize, or Scott can sign and personalize that book too. The Gangster and the Starter and the Champion are also available, signed, numbered, limited editions in hardcover. The Champion, I think there's maybe 16 left. So if you want to get in on these hardcover deals, they are all signed. They can be personalized if you like. You just put that in the special notes section. Like I said, the sale is going to be at least going on until the 31st, but the 31st is going to be New Year's Eve, so we might be doing other things.
Here's the thing with this guy, Pat. I mean, look at, like, normally I'd like to have him on the offensive line, but look, he's crazy. There's something wrong in this part of the brain right here. That means he's a linebacker. You know, he eats all the food. He doesn't pick up after himself. Probably doesn't wipe, leaves toilet paper on his shoe. And you know what? He doesn't care because he's a linebacker. That's how it goes.
So if you want to get in on any of the signed book action here, two things. You can order any of these books. You can, if they're hardcover, they will already be signed. If they are not hardcover, you can request them to be signed. All of them can be personalized if you put it in the special notes section. The one book you do not see here is Mount Fitzroy, because that's our newest. It's a print on demand. We do have a signing feature if you go for U.S. based only because of all the craziness in the world right now. If you go to the Mysterious Galaxy website, you can order a personalized copy from there. If you are outside the U.S. and you cannot get a personalized copy, go ahead and get it locally and pay less shipping. You can get it pretty much from anywhere. And we can send you a book plate. We have book plates that are already existing. We have a handful that went out this week to ex-U.S. junkies and one U.S. junkie, and we'll be continuing to do that.
You know what? And we're going to, as we talk about replacing the website, when we launch the new website, we're going to dedicate a whole episode to me geeking out, the marketing guy in me geeking out over all the technology that we can do now and how we'll be able to
you guys. So we're
track stats and sell stuff and
not
make
only
cool
that,
stuff for cool people. It's just so good.
As we set up this None More Black sale that we're doing this until the end of January with the hardcover books, we realized like our store is kludgier than it needs to
terrible.
be. It's kludgier than it needs to be for sure. And so that's the big reason for the change in website and the change in providers and all of that, so that we can integrate and make it a lot easier for you as we move to print on demand, and also easier for us to take care of any customer service issues along the way.
And also, people sell you stuff. It's what people do. If you don't actually sell stuff to other people, you are making a thing that other people sell to other people. Mm-hmm. We're going to just whip open the kimono, so to speak. We're going to show you, we're going to walk you through everything we do, why we do it, and completely expose our capitalist vampiric nature and try to pull more money out of your wallet. It's in your wallet, and I like it, so I reach all the way across to your wallet, and I drink your milkshake, by which I mean I take your money and I pull it over to me. It's going to be good. I'll work on that impression. It's going to be a good time. So now you know what time it is, baby.
Can you also take a picture of this for me?
Yep.
These are questions. So, Jason Brown, you had an earlier question. We'll get to those in a little bit. And Chris Grawl, my friend, you just asked a great movie grievance, and we'll probably get to that if we have time. If not, we'll do it next week.
Damn it. I think I missed that. I think I blew that other question, babe. I'll go back and find it.
Well, that's okay. I know what it is.
Okay, then let's hold on. I have something that you will like this. Don't lose your memory. Ready?
Yep. Oh, hi, Tiny.
I have a couple of questions. Great show. Love the show. Great actor. Great dynamics in this couple right here. Let's go to it, babe. Let's go and get that question.
Are we doing questions now? We didn't do junkie picks yet. Did we have a junkie pick?
Shoot. All right, you know what? Let's go back. Make sure you remember that question because I screwed that up.
I will.
Junkie picks. Hit it. Oh!
Okay, so you guys,
hold on,
these
hold
are
on,
from...
Hold on.
Oh,
Don't
I love
say
it so
anything.
much.
Don't say anything.
So...
Wait for it.
Oh, I'm not sure what's happening. Oh, I know what's happening. Bye, New Year's Eve hat.
And in this corner, standing at 6'2.5" or possibly 6'3", I'm not entirely sure, armed with a knife, he is the Slayer of Unicorns, hailing from New Brunswick, Columbia, or possibly another state, but I always see New Brunswick, Columbia. He is the Slayer of Unicorns. He is the stalwart individual in the world of Junkiedom. It is Nelson McClintock. Okay, here we go. Sorry. Nelson, he needed a ring walk up.
So if you are unfamiliar, this is a photo from SIGLERfest 2017, and this is Nelson McClintock, my dear friend, holding and threatening the life of a sparkly unicorn that is a stand-in for Sparkle Horse. If you don't know this history, I'll tell you because it's the end of the year and we're celebrating. In 2017, Scott was invited to the Paris Book Fair, and we built with his publishers in the EU, we built a mini book tour where we got to, and junkie tour, where we got to like go to London and hang out with the best people in London for 2 days. It was super great. We had a whole bunch of fun, had a handful of pub crawls, and we landed on St. Patrick's Day in Dublin. And Scott decided to make, April Fool's Day in London, in Dublin. And he decided to make an April Fool's joke because we were sleepless because of jet lag. And he made this April Fool's joke where he was going to co-write a book called Sparkle Horse with James Patterson. Both of our mothers, both Mama Sigler and Mama A is Mama, Zippy, were very excited, but it wasn't true. And Nelson doesn't appreciate April Fool's jokes. And so he became sort of the default Sparkle Horse slayer. And then a couple of years later, Scott wrote a
Hold on. Yeah, we had a question. We're going to get to this. Jason Brown's still waiting for Sparkle Horse. Jason, I don't know what to tell you. We've done an entire Hunter Hunterson and Sons story about Sparkle Horse.
It goes really well for Nelson.
The person in the story who deals with Sparkle Horse happens to be called Nelson. So
exactly.
There you go. There you go. All right.
So that's at 2017 SIGLERfest. Nelson's an enormously lovely human, and he's such a great sport too. He was totally happy to have the end of the Sparkle Horse saga.
Zippy, if you're still in the chat room, you got people giving you shout outs in the chat room. So you can give them a little holler back. Tori Pond saying hello to you. Mm-hmm. Who's this, babe?
So this is Gordy Barker, and this is also Siglerfest 2017. If I'm not mistaken, Kick-Ass Tori hand painted this on Gordy's head because she has a tattoo of this design, and she had actually they had actually created a handful, all of the Magnificent Seven. Well, maybe not all of them, all the visible Magnificent Seven triangles as her costume for the costume contest, and then brought the paint kit so they could do freeform hand painting on other folks. So
this is a straight authored chub right here. You're like I come up with this, and then people are putting this on their head. Super fun, super happy. And Gordy, if you're out there, and if you see, he's got a tattoo on his arm too. Look at that.
He's also got a protection symbol from Nocturnal on his arm.
So sick. I hope you're doing well, buddy. I haven't heard from you in a while, but I hope you're doing well.
He's so far, I think he's doing good. It's winter, so he's camping a lot with his pup too.
Okay.
The triangle you see on his scalp, that is hand painted. But that protection symbol is actually a tattoo.
Hold on, I gotta respond to Joshua here.
And I'm not sure. I think that might be it, but we may have one other photo. I'm not sure.
Go back to here, and we go zoop.
Oh, yeah! I love this. So this is actually Bruce Press.
A lot of brains in this picture. A lot of brains.
This is Bruce Press photography photo. But I love this. This is yet again also from. Can you tell I saw 2017 in my photos today? Siglerfest. This is Dr. Daniel Baker, PhD, and his gorgeous, gorgeous spouse
Voodoo's
Abby.
Back there.
And Athanas is in that photo, and
Voodoo
Jen
on
is
the
in
left.
that photo, and Dan
Jimmy
is in that
Mustache
photo.
in there? Where's Jimmy Mustache?
No, this is Jen Lundy.
Oh, Jen Lundy's
in
there. Oh, sweet.
And then Voodoo's all the way in the corner there. And I don't know who the other hands are, but I do think this face might be Jose.
Oh, Jose. The amount of gray matter, dense, highly productive gray matter in the front of this photo,
and also
is not at all to be downplayed or underestimated. I don't know that I have the descriptive capacity to explain to you how smart the front row of this thing and how hardworking the front row of this thing is. Awesome, couple of PhDs, couple of FIDs.
For sure, but everybody that we can identify in this photo, at the very, very least, are compassionate, beautiful, kind, gentle human beings. And in today's world, this is... I'm super proud that our community looks like this. We're good, happy, not necessarily healthy or normal, but we try hard.
I'm going to throw it out there. Dr. Daniel Baker, PhD, probably has some biofilm on that popcorn. That's all I can say. Probably some biofilm on that popcorn. Shannon, hello. Welcome to the chat.
Nice to see you.
All right, now we go back to the main. And now, although I did say it, I did unleash the David a little early.
Yeah, that's okay. I do, yes. So the first question that we got, and I'm paraphrasing because I know it's somewhere in the chat room.
Wait,
but
no, I have it for you. I have it for you, baby.
Oh, you do?
No, wait, I think it's here. Oh. Hold on, guys. I don't know how technology works. Hold on.
I am the tech dart.
God darn it. What is going on with this? You're supposed to be able to hit space bar. Okay, wait. There you go.
Okay, so Jason Brown, you asked, I posted this on the Junkies group. I didn't have time to send an email for questions. When and how did you decide on Empty Set, before or after the tattoo? So we started what is now Empty Set Entertainment, which looks wholly different than it was originally envisioned, in very late 2008. Maybe September, November, December 2008, and we were called Dark Overlord Media because, as you know, if you don't know this, I started because the way Scott and I met is I am a medicinal chemist by education, and I worked a lot in the Bay Area on the quadvalent flu vaccine that you guys take now. And so I was going up and back and forth and doing that a lot. And I loved Infected. I read a ton of books, and I loved Infected. And I went to BayCon because I was in town already for work and I wanted to meet Scott. And I was a little, you've heard the Winston Wolfe story. I was a little forward and like, you need some help, sir. You need a project manager or something. And he put my card in his wallet, and a few months later, he gave me a call. And then we met again at DragonCon, where he actually remembered meeting me, which is good for both of us.
Yep.
And we decided that we would edit and put out the rookie. I say edit very lightly. That's sort of an adjective, not an accuracy there. So we did that. And then when we had done that, when we had gotten ready to do that, we decided that we would go into business together. But we didn't have time to form an actual business before we put out the rookie. So we made a handshake agreement. And that was Dark Overlord Media. And that was in February of 2009. Okay. The book came out in September of 2009. Fast forward to April of 2013, and we are formalizing this handshake agreement finally. And we waited so long because, Scott could have kept every single dollar for himself. He could have done anything he wanted. It was a handshake agreement, and all the money is his, or was his at the time. And he was as good as his word for every single penny. So it took years for us to actually formalize. And when we went to do it, Dark Overlord, someone owns a business in California and in Delaware and in Illinois and in New Jersey and in a bunch of other places named Dark Overlord something. So we couldn't have that. Went through 1,000 iterations and finally came up with the idea of Empty Set. We are both secular people who believe that this is our one chance to do good on this earth. And the empty set is actually a mathematical, you guys probably know this, but in case you don't, very simply, it's a mathematical concept that is anything inside an empty set, a null set, does not exist except for in that equation when it's needed. So it's this analog sort of for this idea that this is our one chance to influence humanity and be good people. And so we went with Empty Set Entertainment after 16,000 other iterations didn't come to pass. That was actually done at least a year before the tattoos were done. So that's the very too long story of our tattoos and Empty Set. But we chose Empty Set in 2013, and then I think a year and a half later we got the tattoos. If it wasn't that, it was 6 months later.
Two things. Number one, Jason Brown has a math degree. More brains in the chat room. We love the brains in this.
Yes.
My nickname as a child was Brains in my house.
Still, actually.
Still get called Brains.
His folks still call him Brains.
And I have found a way to hang out with a whole lot of people who are a whole lot smarter than me so that I can go back to being a goofball who eats Cocoa Puffs and makes fart jokes. Mm-hmm. Works out great for me, everybody. Also, Kim Hansen brought up a very important point. She said, I think it was Kim, maybe it wasn't Kim. I'm sorry. Whoever asked, hey.
Oh, yeah, we can show our tattoos.
What happened to the question song? And I thought to myself,
How dare you?
Forgot all about the questions. Oh, we've got questions. We've got some attitude, a smarmy cup of coffee, and maybe this guy has said some stuff I don't want to think about. So while I'm going to ask some questions, I close and squint my eyes. My name is David, and I don't know how to process relationships.
David. So somebody also asked, show the empty set. So this is mine. This is mine, and that's his.
I wasn't sure if I had the right shoulder, you guys.
We got these in, I believe, no, I'm wrong. They were 6 months later. In 2010 at Dragon Con, we got these. I was going with girlfriends to get tattooed, and I ran out of time getting that tattoo. And eventually I'll tell you this story at another time. But that was the tattoo I was going to get, but this took too much time. So we got these. They are the same design. They are the literal same image, just sized differently so that they can be there. So.
And I'm big into iconography and very defined. I don't like gradients. I don't like grayscale. I like very defined, simple, stark contrast, black and white type imagery. So this, I didn't need it. I didn't need a filigree. I didn't need a sleeve. I like icons. So there you go.
Scott also is not a great big fan of needles.
Oh my God.
Just immediate response, not great with needles. So also we had to have it recolored once.
And we will have to have it recolored again soon too, and it just sucks.
I think this is the only tattoo he's going to get because he has to get it 3 times.
Oh yeah, it's the only one. I was like, I'm going to get every book title I ever get tattooed on my arm and have a whole sleeve of all the book titles I made because I've worked so hard at this. And then it became, every time I get a New York Times bestseller, I'm going to get that shit on my arm. And then it became, every time I get a #1 New York Times bestseller, I'm put that on my arm. And then it became I don't like needles at all.
But guys, my grandpa who was, I loved Grandpa so much. He was my protector. He was my best friend for all of my high school years. I loved my grandpa so much. And my grandpa had been in the Navy, and he was a cook. And so he had that, the anchor with all his ports of call kind of thing happen there on his arm. And he taught me how to cook, and I love to cook. He taught me how to cook for 100 people at once, so I had to adjust that. You can tell by my physique, it's hard. But I always figure it would be very fun for a writer to have like a quill or a pen or a pencil or something like that, and then all the book titles. And I've looked for it my whole life. Obviously not going to happen with this beautiful man, but I think that would be a great idea for a summer writer. I've never seen it. I look on Pinterest pretty much only for that, and I've never seen it.
Steve Iceberg Ricky Berg, the producer of our audiobooks, has mentioned that the needle-averse stoner needs to be a character. You've got 2 to write down now, Steve. Keep a list, buddy. We'll knock out. We got a Madden character and the needle-averse stoner character. It's gonna be great.
Maria in the chat room points out that, so Maria is the one who I share this tattoo with that I'll tell you some other time. But she points out that he got his Tdap booster as an adult at that same Dragon Con and was just as averse to that needle. But he got it done because it's important.
Let's go to while you look up a question, I'll tell you that.
Well, we have these. Why don't we scoot through the rest of these?
We only have one more of those.
Oh, okay. And the other is...
We got Mr. Happy's. Boom, boom. That's Mr. Happy's question.
Oh, yeah. Okay, then we'll...
Oh, yeah. For our Festivus airing of the grievances, I requested everybody send in grievances against awful people, but only fictitious awful people, because we do not crap on people on this show. Positive is where we live. To parallel or perpendicular naughty by nature. Positive is where we live. So we don't talk about people bad on this show, but we will crap on fictional characters. And Mr. Happy Chris Grawl is a little late to the show, but why don't you ask this question? And then I will give the Festivus airing of the grievances responses to this question. Go ahead, baby.
Okay, so before I do that, I have to say my Nana also got tattooed with me on her 72nd birthday, so I'll tell that story sometime.
Jude's in the house.
Yeah. So this question with the fictional grievance for a fictional character is: am I late for movie grievances? Bill the Butcher, Gangs of New York, total breaking character, and let DiCaprio live.
Let's talk about this. First of all, you don't talk crap about Bill the Butcher. You know why? Because you see this notch. That's you. He's an amazing character, Mr. Happy. An incredible, amazing character. And you do not get to give a grievance about Bill the Butcher because he had a moment of paternal extension toward a strange little Irish boy that he'd never met before, who for some reason won't get onto a goddamn log in a movie where there's nothing but ocean and chooses to die even though there's enough room on that log for everyone. That's the grievance. There we go. We have to be... This little pup here does not like yelling.
She does not like yelling. Before we were dating, and we were just business partners, and also I'll take the fine. Also assholes. We fought a lot about our business, and we did it loud. And we started dating, and then we fought a lot, and we still did it loud. And then this dog decided yelling is not for her. So whenever we get loud, even if we're excited about something, like we were watching we watched The Matrix this past week, and the new Matrix, and we both really loved like the first 30 minutes or so, a lot, and we were so excited about it. And I won't say anything else because spoilery, but we were like, oh my God, this is so, look, see. And she got up out of her little donut bed and ran upstairs and went under the covers in the bed because she does not deal with, she's not.
I'll tell you this about the two giant flaming human assholes you see before you. There's been 2 iterations of this crazy Irish personality and this crazy Irish Jew-German personality. There's Welsh in there too, but I'm not sure they're angry people. I don't know. So we've had 2 iterations of the dogs being the canary in the coal mine, the bellwether for that we need to get our shit in check.
Yeah.
I'll take that $1 fine. Because the first one was Reese, the dog of doom, when she was very young, 2 or 3 or 4, and we got into some crazy blowout fight about something in the business. And I feel I can handle most conflict in a relatively normal, approach, be businesslike, be Spock, be logical, etc. But when someone starts to get all up in my face and stuff, like I'm like, oh, is this what? Okay, we're gonna argue. Then let's go ahead and argue. And this one is an Irish broad from Manhattan. We were just screaming at each other about stuff that doesn't really matter. And at one
we
point,
can't
we're
even
like,
remember.
We don't remember what it's about. At one point, we were like, where's the dog? Reese was hiding under the bed in the lair of doom.
Yeah, hiding right in the middle of his,
like
under
dead
his
center
bed.
in the middle of the bed, terrified because we were yelling at each other, not at her. And we were both like this. First of all, it ended the argument. And first of all, I was like, I believe we are being assholes. And A's like, I think. So our dog guilted us. So that was the first step. And we've never argued at that level before or since. But then this one came along. And this one can even sense when the volume starts to creep up, the intensity starts just creeping up a little bit. Just a little bit of like, you know what? I think that was disrespectful what you said. I don't think you should have said it that way. Maybe you should rethink what you're saying and bring this back to a calm level so we can discuss it as intelligent human beings. This one, little tiny feet, straight upstairs, goes and hides in the bedroom. And we're like, now, we don't have children, but we have two little fur babies, and we are literally not allowed to argue and be ourselves. And if you've ever argued with either of us, you know that's a good thing. We should not be ourselves. We're horrible, horrible humans.
And we can't even, like I said, even if we're doing something good, like, like football. The Lundys in the chat room mentioned football, and their dog doesn't love football days. Our dogs don't either. Because this one, even if it's something good, he will scream it out. Like, scream it
Very
out.
loud. As Steve mentioned, my default state is a sliver below yelling at all times. So it's just the way it goes.
But we're working it out.
All right, we've got we'll do one more, since we said questions, we'll do one more question.
I don't know that there are more questions there, but I can pull up the other ones.
Well, we're past.
Here we are. We should probably
We'll finish up.
I will say, I have one little thing. Can you grab your cocktail or your Reese?
I won't even touch.
Hey, it's a family show.
I have been informed. Perhaps I lean into the blue humor a little bit too much. Not get rid of it all, but a little bit too much. But hey, can you grab your cocktail? Not even touching that one.
But I will say this, Mr. Happy, the Squeaks agrees with you. Bill broke character. He definitely broke character, you guys.
Also, we've said this before, but since we're talking about tattoos.
Oh yeah. This.
All right, we're not showing you dog vagina, but this right here, can you guys see that?
That's her empty set tattoo.
We didn't know she had that. So at the time, we did not know that was something that some vets do when you have your dog spayed or neutered. And I'm sitting there, and of course, A and I have our tattoos, our empty set tattoos, which
for
is
years.
A huge bonding moment. Like, we dug coal together. We are either gonna fucking get rich or die trying. And this is the life we have chosen, is the empty set life. Got our tattoos, did our thing. And I'm sitting here, I'm petting her dog one day, and I'm like, is this a birthmark? He's like, I don't know. And I'm like, is that an empty set on the dog? And I will not lie. I am a secular person. I am not religious. But for the tiniest little moment, I was like, did Jesus send us a dog with an empty set mark? To let us know that,
Devious, nice to see you.
to let us know that this one was meant for us, because all three of us have the same tattoo. And I was even the point like, Reese got to get a tattoo. And then we found out it is an actual empty set tattoo on the dog's little tum-tum. And that's something that vets do. So these three right here, empty set hardcore. Reese, hey man, she does her own thing. And we don't pressure her. It's okay.
So you guys, we're over time, and I appreciate you guys staying with us. We won't be back until 2022, but we will see you next Wednesday. And if you come to the happy hour,
222, yo, West Side.
If you come to the happy hour, you'll at least see me and a whole bunch of other great junkies, somewhat during that time. However, I do want to say, 2021 was not what I had hoped.
I gotta stop you. I got something to say. I'm going to stop her right here. And we were going to go to the Zoom cam. I saw so many of you and so many other people, beautiful, intelligent, erudite, thoughtful, feeling people, all were like, you know what, bro? 2020 sucks so bad. Fuck 2020. I can't wait for 2021. I also saw people in fuck 2019. You know what? 2019 can kiss my ass. I can't wait for 2020. Guess what happened in 2020? 2019 picked up the phone, boop, 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 Yeah, man, 2020, they've been talking a bunch of shit about me, a bunch of shit. How about you give them a whole heaping, helping, and hurting? And then 2020 comes along. We get to 2020. Everybody's like, oh, you know what? 2020 is horrible. It's worse. I wish it would never exist. I can't wait for 2021. And then guess what happened? 2021 happened and a giant airing of grievances that we're still going through. So you know what? Listen to me. Thank 2021. Say thank you, 2021. We're still here. There are some people who are not here, but we're still here. We're looking at the green side of the grass. Mwah, 2021. Mwah. Maybe it wasn't the best year, but you know what? You weren't the worst because there was that Black Plague year, and that sucked. Send 2021 off with love. Say thank you. Say thank you. And then 2022, where say, hey, I hope you're okay. We're going to be okay regardless. But stop bad-mouthing 2021. Look what happened when you bad-mouthed 2019. Look what happened when you bad-mouthed 2020. 2021, A-OK, USA.
So here's the thing. Almost all the time, that is this Sigler. And what I'm about to say is this Sigler. That sweetness, light, and brightness normally comes out of my mouth. But what I'm saying is this. I think Kayla Myers is in charge of 2021, 2020, and I'm hoping not for 2022. Pretend like she is, though. Do the things. Stay safe, stay home, get boosted. Do all the things because Kayla Myers is apparently in charge of what happens to us these years.
All right,
and I'm done. I'm done.
Let's send this bad boy out.
In the meantime, you know we love you. We know you know that we are so glad you're still here because you have been safe, you have been careful, you have been cautious, you have been science-oriented. Keep doing that in 2022. Unfortunately, it's sort of going to get worse before it gets better for a couple more years, but we'll still be here for you. We started doing this in 2020 because SIGLERinPLACE, because we thought, pretty fun, hang out, you know, everybody's stuck at home. And it sort of changed over time and morphed over time for us. And I think I've heard from enough of you, so maybe also for you, to be like a benchmark in my week where I get to interact with people I care about and have some fun and forget about a little bit of all the drama and just laugh and enjoy ourselves for a few hours. And so now, just like everybody else, well, everybody here, we really look forward to this. So if you want to join us in 2022, we'll continue to be here on Wednesdays. Sure.
Okay, so here we just finished up season 1 of Monster of the Week. I had a blast doing it. It was fun, talk to some awesome people. Question for you. I was like, now we have all this skill at live streaming. We have all the gear, we have all the lights, we know what we're doing. It takes me very little time to prep. I'm like, we need to do something. And I was like, maybe I read from other people's books, my books, whatever, do a live thing every week. And A was like, hey, you know what? Remember when we were all in college and your professors had office hours? Where you didn't have to come in, but you could come in from like 4 to 5 on Thursday. You could go in and it was free form. You could ask any question you wanted of your professor. And so the question is to you guys, I am considering at some point in 2022 having a FDO office hour where I just get on and I have no agenda. I don't come in with anything prepared. Maybe some fiction of my own, like, I'm working on this paragraph. What do you guys think of this? Let me hear your thoughts on that. But mostly, you all come on, you can ask writing questions, you can ask questions about Empty Set, and just basically chit-chatting with the people in the room. You can ask political questions. I won't crap on anybody. Football questions, sports questions, anything you want, and just kind of I'm just more like the center point of where people come to hang out for an hour. So if you like the idea of Empty Set office hours, throw an email to info@emptyset and say, this is a great idea, or you can say, this is a horrible idea. This jump to conclusions, Matt, is terrible. You can do that too. You can do that too.
So we are absolutely, there's been a couple of comments saying, please don't cancel SIGLERinPLACE. What I was just saying, I clearly didn't say terribly well, is we're not. We love it as much as you do. So we are going to keep it at least, what we said at the very beginning was we'll keep this as long as lockdown happened. And lockdown is sort of a nebulous thing now. And I don't think we'll have a true lockdown again in the United States, but I do see that happening around the world. What I'm saying is, for the foreseeable future, we continue to stay locked down. As you guys know, I adore my mom, who might still be in the chat room. I'm not sure. My mom is quite immunocompromised, so we are very, very safe. So that if we have an opportunity to see her, we can. And so we'll be here, at least for the I'd say at least the next 6 months on Wednesday evenings to share with you for the most part.
All right.
So this is our last cast of 2021.
Which was a great year, you guys. It could have 2021. It could have been so much worse. That's the way to think about
Nico
it.
Devious, thank you so much for joining us. Please come back. We do this every Wednesday, and it's a whole lot of fun. If you guys have New Year's Eve plans, just make sure they're safe. Make sure that you test before you go out. Come back and see us next Wednesday, which is, I think, National
Screenwriters Day. Oh, snap. We got to get Rob Otto sending some kind of content.
And it's also Whipped Cream Day or something. So we'll figure something out. Maybe I'll pie him in the face. Who knows?
Yeah, see, this is the way our brains work. She's like, whipped cream day. Maybe I pie him in the face. I'm like, whipped cream day. Oh, yeah. What's up, y'all? What's up?
So his hat is already off to you.
Oh, yeah, it's off.
And we are going to toast you guys because we will not
We
see
will
you
not
on
be
New
with
Year's
you on New
Eve.
Year's Eve, but here, remember this. Here's the sound again. We love you. You're great.
We want you to stay safe.
We want you to stay smart.
We need you to stay science.
And for the love of science, stay informed. We have told you many times that this shit ain't over. And guess what? We've been right all those times. And guess what? This shit ain't over. Stay informed.
Happy New Year. We'll see you next year.
Wait, we got to drink to that. Toast.
We do. Oh, yeah.
Wait, one more.
Let's go out.
I switch it over here. Switch it over to the, you know what this camera is now? Let's just make this a permanent feature. This is the airing of grievances cam.
It should be.
I will
Remember,
celebrate
if you have a fictional
Festivus.
character.
I will celebrate Festivus through all of 2022. If you have a fictional character that you feel we need to have grievances aired against this fictional character, let us know. I will switch to this cam, the Festivus cam, and we will air the grievances. But until then, my grievances against you guys are, you can all just kiss off into the sky. Ready?